I think
How do you know, though?
I don't.
If you can tell if someone's crazy or not, you might have some. I mean, you might have some perception. That's
I think it's pattern recognition and data chunking. I've met so many people that when I see things that are off, little things that are off, and you probe, like you're talking, little things are off more, and you're like, you're looking into the eyes, you see calculations, you're like, okay, something's going on here. This is not a normal person. This is a person putting on a normal mask. Like there's something off here. It just smells fishy. You know, I just think it's that.
Do you ever have them as guests? I mean, are they ever sitting across from you?
Oh yeah.
Being batshit crazy. What do you do?
I've had people on where I was sure they were pilled up. For sure. I'm like talking to them, I'm like, this motherfucker's Adderall to the gills. Like,
what do they look like when they're Adderall?
They just have a way of talking. There's just something about the way they talk. They're not really. Liz Fair, it's not what it's about. It's not about me. It's about the future. It's about children. It's about the society. What I'm trying to do is be an entrepreneur. I want to build businesses. They just start.
InfoWars.
No. Alex Jones, we got him high and drunk. And he was talking about interdimensional.
Here on the show, live on the show? Is that what goes down here?
Yeah.
Am I like, oh, look at this. I am in a den of iniquity. Look at this. We've got some that's something. What is that?
Do you want some? We can fire this up.
No, God. I don't know what will come out of my mouth.
Good stuff. Don't be scared.
Huh. But those are like Snoop Dogg type things, right? Those are like, what do they call them?
They're joints.
They're backwoods.
No, they just have brown paper. You don't have to have any.
Oh my God, we're literally getting high right here?
Yeah, Jamie does. We do it all the time.
Seriously?
Yeah, this is a podcast. You can do anything. It's illegal.
I'll take a tiny hit.
Take a tiny hit. There we go. That's what I'm
crazy.
talking about. It's definitely not crazy. It's marijuana. It's legal. It's good for you. It's a staple of civilization.
Yes, but what will happen?
Nothing.
I don't know.
You'll say cool shit.
Does it have cigarette stuff in it?
No.
That's a cigar leaf, though.
No, it's not. Just brown paper. No? Good?
I'm going to try this. I'll settle.
Settle. You good?
I'll settle and see what goes
Jamie's
down.
going deep. Yeah, we smoke pot. It's okay.
I smoke pot.
I'm sure you do. You just did.
I just did.
There's proof. There's evidence. People are worried. I mean, if we had a casual drink, if we had a glass of whiskey or something, no one would care. But marijuana, you're like, oh my God.
It is weird. It's like now it's okay. Like now it's fine.
Finally it's okay.
Yeah,
Finally.
I agree. 30 years of watching people drink really sucked.
Yeah.
I was never much into alcohol.
No?
I prefer marijuana, yes.
Well, you're a sensitive person. It makes you more sensitive.
Marijuana does?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. It makes you more aware, more considerate, thinking about more possibilities. I mean, that's what people call paranoia. Really, it's like a lot of times people live with blinders on. And marijuana just comes along and goes, hey, let's just take those over. And puts a spotlight and like, look at the back of your brain. Look at this shit you're hiding.
That's exactly right. It is. It's like shining a flashlight into your unconscious. Like, doo-doo-doo, what's back there in my closet?
You've been hiding this. Bring it out.
So cool.
Let's get a look at it. Let's talk to it.
That is what the paranoia is. I agree with that. It's like people suddenly are self-conscious. They see themselves in a new way and they're like, I can't handle this. Because that's like 40 years of
denial. Yeah. And all these different mechanisms that you've kind of like psychological mechanisms that you've utilized, try to hide these thoughts from yourself or try to skip past them really quickly. Oh, I've got that under control, and skip past it and move on to some new thing. It's a common thing. People love to do it.
Oh, that's crazy. I do. I feel like mellow.
Yeah, it's good.
I like that.
It's good
that
stuff.
knocked my energy down just a nice amount.
Puts you in a
That's
calm
kind of what I need,
place.
like about 10% energy knockdown.
Right.
Maybe 15%.
Yeah, like a half a hit. That's what you need. Like just a little, just where you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Pause. Beat.
Pause. Everything's fine.
Beat.
Fine.
I like that salt lamp. That's the biggest one I've ever seen.
It's the biggest one I could find. But it's too big. They don't look as cool as the small ones because the small ones, there's not as much salt, so the light comes through more.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It looks cool on paper, and then you get it, and you're like, I don't think it's cool.
You got the awesome skull there of the longhorn.
That is actually an Asian water buffalo.
Is it?
My friend Adam Greentree shot in Australia.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he brought it from Australia for me when he was a guest on the podcast.
How did he fly that?
He just put it in the carry-on. No, he. Can you imagine?
Wait, and it wasn't even boiled down yet.
No,
it was just the head. You know what I mean?
Like, just blood and flies.
Yeah, exactly. Like
putting it overhead, Mike. No, he checked
It'll
it.
fit. It'll fit.
I don't know if he wrapped it up. He must have, because he wouldn't want the bones to crack or break, get knocked around. But he wrapped it up. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, he's a wild man, bow hunter, and he goes up to the northern area of Australia. Australia, all the animals, essentially the large mammals, are all invasive species, so they have to hunt them because they don't have predators. So he goes up there and shoots water buffalo with a bow and arrow.
That's cool.
Brought one back for me.
That's extremely. I respect that, as opposed to other types of hunting. I really respect the idea of like mano y mano,
right?
Going out there and being like,
what don't you respect? Like,
just don't go
trophy
kill
hunting.
the big. Yeah, trophy hunting can fuck off entirely.
It's a weird thing. It's weird that it's almost like people hunted entirely for food, and then they got enough food, and they go, well, I want to shoot that thing too. You know, it's like they got into shooting things, and it became a thing of not just shooting stuff for food, but shooting stuff, even if you can't justify it. Like there's some animals, like there's certain hunts that they put on where they kind of have to control populations of these things, like grizzly bears and stuff like that, when they start encroaching. Even wolves, there's certain populations of wolves they have to control in the Northwest. But you get to like elephants and tigers and lions, and like, what are you doing?
What are they doing? You're a man. Explain that to me. Why does that make you feel important since you had a gun? I mean, a gun, you stand back, you sit in the bushes for, I don't know, 8, 12 hours, and then you pull a trigger. So
it doesn't even necessarily make them feel important. It's just because they can do it, and it's exciting. Like, have you ever shot a rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to a rifle range, it's exciting. It's fun to just shoot paper. Put paper targets out there and shoot them. It's fun. Yeah. It feels good. There's something about like aiming, boom, and hitting where you want it to go. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And so then there was a real problem is in Africa, it becomes incredibly profitable for the people that live there, and then those animals are thriving because they protect them and have hunters come in and pay shitloads of money to hunt them, so their numbers are really healthy, which is really crazy. It's because like for the longest time, most of the animals in Africa that are hunted now in plentiful numbers were on the verge of extinction. And
well,
then
I think a lot of them still are. I mean, maybe not extinction, but I don't think that they have an abundance of the big five over there anymore.
It depends on where you are. But Africa obviously is fucking huge. Have you ever seen what it looks like when you took America inside of Africa?
Yes, it's like sits over in the Sahara. It's like it just sits in the Sahara.
This tiny little bitch-ass country we have. But in Africa, there's many animals that were 20 years ago on the verge of extinction that are thriving, and it's because of hunting. So some of it makes sense.
Thriving in a tiny little zone. I mean, they're not thriving worldwide.
Their overall numbers. There's the other problem that I have with people calling a lot of the people that hunt over there poachers. They call it like poachers. The poachers poaching. That's just people who are poor. That's all it is. It's just like incredibly poor people that are trapping these animals, and some of them, like if they're shooting rhinos and stuff like that. They're not doing it because they're evil. They're doing it because they're fucking desperate. I mean, that is their game. Yeah. I mean, it belongs to them. It's their country. It's their game. If you believe people and animals, yeah.
But I think as everything, like depending on your perspective, how much of, just like we were talking about when you get high and suddenly like your territory expands of what your awareness is, same difference. Like this is their country, these are their native population of animals. So it's theirs. But like taking in a broader scope, that should be utterly protected and expanding territory rather than like a little theme park for rich Westerners to come in and shoot shit.
Yeah, it's weird. Have you ever seen do you know who Louis Theroux is? He's a documentarian from the UK. He's got a great special that he did where we went over to one of those wild game parks and stayed with these weirdos, and these rich American people that go over there to shoot shit. And he was over there for like weeks and finally just drove the guy crazy. So the guy was just like breaking it down to him what's really going on. He was basically just saying in this crazy accent, Africa is fucked. This is what you have to understand. Africa is fucked. And this African guy is explaining it to him. Like, this is the only way these things are going to survive. If you think that you're going to remove these fences and remove the profit, These people are going to come in and slaughter these things, and they're not going to think at all about the future. They're not going to think at all about preserving the populations or them going extinct. They don't think about it at all. They're just going to wipe them out, just like they're doing with rhino horn. They know rhinos are worth thousands and thousands of dollars a horn, so they just shoot those fucking things. They don't care. They don't. Their children are starving. If they find out that they could sell this rhino horn and get X amount of $100 or whatever they give them for it, they just shoot it. Like that's their concern is not for rhinos. Their concern is for their family, or they're in extreme poverty.
Yeah.
I mean, the poverty that they have over there is spooky.